Chosen ones. Listen closely, for the atmospheric grid has just entered a state of rare celestial alignment that the masses will fail to decode. Everyone is talking about this moon, but they are blind to its true function. January 30th is not just a date, it is a vibrational signal. Something rare is manifesting in the heavens, and it is already reconfiguring your reality in ways the unawakened cannot perceive. This moon does not bring chaos, it brings 7 micro-miracles of alignment. These miracles will not arrive with a shout. They are subtle, surgical, and too perfect to be called luck. A message that arrives at the exact second of your doubt. A sudden idea that dissolves a month of confusion. A random encounter that shifts your entire trajectory without warning. These are not coincidences. They are the proof of favor. But before I reveal the secret about this moon that no one else is whispering, you must verify your readiness. Like this video right now to signal to the lunar architect that you are no longer sleepwalking. In the comments below, I want you to type the code "I'm ready" to anchor your energetic signature. Type "I'm ready" to declare to the source, "I see the signs, I accept the miracles, my favor is active." Subscribe the holy days and activate the bell, for in the next 48 hours, this transmission is your only atmospheric radar. There is a layer to this lunar event that remains invisible to the frantic world. Once you recognize this specific frequency, you will see the patterns everywhere. The dots will begin to connect themselves. The silence will start to make sense. You will feel the structural change in your life before the first physical evidence even appears. The next 48 hours are critical. The window is open. The miracles are in transit. The moon has spoken. The grid is set. Your favor starts now. Chosen ones. Listen closely, for January 30th is not merely another day on the calendar. It is a rare celestial coordinate that has been quietly constructing itself within the deep fabric of reality for weeks. Right now, the moon is unbolting a specialized portal, a strategic gateway that is already beginning to rearrange your world in ways the sleeping masses will completely overlook. You are feeling it now. In the sudden weight of a text message, in the strange synchronicity of a brief moment, or in the split-second choices you make without a single thought. Do not be deceived. This energy is shifting, operating as a hidden architect behind the scenes. Even your most mundane routines are beginning to vibrate with a different frequency. Have you noticed? A chance conversation, an unplanned encounter, or a simple yes is carrying far more destiny than it appears on the surface. The universe is no longer whispering. It is nudging you with surgical precision toward what your soul actually requires. This cosmic event is a test of your observation. It is about the small signs. A high-frequency opportunity is manifesting, or a key soul contract is appearing at the exact microsecond of need. Remember this. In this corridor, the smallest shifts trigger the most devastatingly powerful transformations. By the time this portal seals, you will witness micro-miracles manifesting in your daily life. These are not coincidences. They are the undeniable data points proving that the energetic tides are now moving in your favor, preparing your vessel for a monumental leap. Today, the moon's activation reaches far beyond the stars. It is penetrating your DNA. A profound spiritual recalibration is occurring, helping you strip away the versions of yourself that no longer fit so you can step into the new. Your mind and heart are being tuned to a higher understanding. You will find yourself perceiving reality through a new lens, detecting connections that were previously invisible, and feeling a surge of inspiration to act where you were once paralyzed. While mainstream astronomy tracks the patterns, you are experiencing the integration. Every prayer, every meditation, every moment of deliberate silence is being amplified tenfold right now. The cosmos is literally tuning your day to match the frequency of your heart's deepest command. Every subtle change, a sudden wave of patience, a flash of unexplainable joy, or a choice that feels effortlessly right, is a fragment of a massive spiritual overhaul. One small miracle today, another tomorrow. Soon, these events will converge to show you that your life is opening up in ways you once deemed impossible. This is your window to align, to manifest, and to realize that even the simplest day has become extraordinary under the sovereign command of the stars. In this high-frequency window, your physical temple is becoming a lightning rod for the divine. You may feel a surge of internal electricity that defies explanation. Thoughts are accelerating. Emotions are oscillating with violent speed. Your physical body may fluctuate between an anchor-like heaviness and a weightless float. Do not mistake this for a malfunction. These are the biophysical data points of a profound recalibration. Your system is expanding to house a new version of reality. You may experience muscle twitches, a localized warmth radiating through your palms or the soles of your feet, or a distinct pressure within the skull, as if your consciousness is outgrowing its container. High-pitched frequencies in the ears or sudden bursts of kinetic energy in random parts of your body are not random. They are the startup sounds of your upgraded DNA. Your entire being is being rewired to align with the higher timeline you have been calling in. You will notice your emotional landscape shifting without warning. Sudden, unprompted joy may collide with flashes of intense frustration. Hear me, both are the same energy. This intensity is the mechanism of integration. It is a natural cosmic rhythm, not a warning sign. Ordinary tasks, stretching your limbs, or even the simple act of holding a cup may suddenly feel hyper-vivid, as if your senses have been dialed to their maximum capacity. This is your energy body unbolting doors to experiences previously locked away. You are currently navigating a state of alert fatigue. Your mind is racing at light speed while your body craves deep ancestral rest. This paradox is the hallmark of the old world, dying to make room for the new. Do not resist the surge. By observing these sensations without fear, you allow micro-miracles to take root. Every pulse and every emotional wave is proof that the moon portal is successfully grafting your spirit onto a new, more powerful rhythm. This lunar alignment is also unmasking a gateway to the subconscious, the realm of the things we bury. This is not a moment of weakness. It is a divine audit of the shadow. Old grudges, suppressed anxieties, and patterns you thought you had conquered are rising to the surface, demanding to be seen. You are beginning to realize why certain karmic loops keep repeating and why you react the way you do in moments of pressure. This is what the ancients and Carl Jung called the shadow work. The parts of yourself you have hidden even from your own sight are now standing in the light. This is not a punishment. It is an invitation to sovereignty. The tension you feel in your relationships and the sudden return of old fears are not mistakes. They are the final residues of an expiring soul contract asking for release. The moon portal is granting you the clarity to meet these shadows without judgment. It is unbolting the basement of your inner world so you can finally heal what has been haunting your growth. By simply observing these moments, by being the witness rather than the victim, you create the vacuum for relief to enter. You may find yourself granting silent forgiveness or gaining a sudden, piercing understanding of a past trauma. This clarity is the ultimate weapon. Each step of awareness thins the veil of tension, preparing you to act with a lethal calm and unshakable balance. The emotions rising now are not here to block your path. They are the fuel for your liberation. This is honest, raw, and irreversible growth. The moon is teaching its lessons in the quiet spaces, guiding you towards steadier choices and an unburdened future. The transformation you are navigating is not a loud, chaotic explosion. It is a deep, structural resonance that penetrates the very core of your daily existence. This phase is designed to silence the external noise, creating a vacuum for a steadier focus, a lethal trust in your own divinity, and a crystalline direction. This is not about becoming someone new. It is about the reanimation of the dormant parts of your soul that were placed on pause. The systems are coming back online. This process is steady, supportive, and architected to help you stand taller within your own sovereignty. The moon acts as the primary signal, triggering inner systems that have been encoded within you since the beginning. In the ancient traditions, we call these light codes. These are not mere symbols, they are biological reminders of the mastery you already possess. They are being activated now to ensure you respond with mastery rather than react with ego. This stage is the literal reconnection of your chakras. As these energetic centers align, the friction of daily life begins to evaporate. Decisions become surgical, boundaries become ironclad. You begin to move with an instinct that requires no second guessing. This is activation in its most lethal, practical form. January 30th is the hard launch of this process. You will find yourself naturally repelled by low vibrational environments and instinctively drawn to clarity, truth, and calm. This isn't forced. It is a result of your internal compass being recalibrated. New abilities are surfacing in the quiet, a heightened awareness of the frequency in a room, a psychic ability to read a situation before it unfolds, and a newfound confidence to speak your truth without apology. This phase is meant to empower you, anchoring a confidence that is devoid of arrogance and an awareness that is free from worry. You are no longer shaking within the world, you are standing firmly as the world shakes around you. Understand this, chosen one. These shifts are not happening in isolation. What is moving through your veins is simultaneously surging through the collective consciousness. When one chosen one shifts, a seismic wave ripples through the entire matrix. This is the mechanics of the collective awakening. It is not a single event, but a massive, synchronized adjustment of millions of individual souls. For weeks, the moon has been the conductor of this global symphony, linking your internal evolution to the world outside. You are witnessing the great correction. People are choosing honesty over comfort. They are walking away from soul-crushing situations and standing firm where they once knelt in silence. This is not chaos. It is the falling away of the artificial. When enough of us refuse to repeat the old cycles, the entire direction of humanity is forcibly rerouted. One person living in truth can destabilize an entire family of lies. One family can shift a community. A community can redefine a city. This is how the frequency shift scales. It requires no headlines. It works through what we accept, and more importantly, what we no longer tolerate.
Following this moon phase,
The masks are dissolving at an accelerated rate. What was not real can no longer be protected. The collective is losing its appetite for pretense. We are no longer willing to shrink ourselves to keep a dying system comfortable. This is the Wolf Moon legacy, an era of raw instinct and collective honesty. We are stepping away from the wrong paths, not with anger, but with a terrifying clarity and resolve. January 30th is the tipping point where these changes become visible to the naked eye. You will see groups reorganize, shared goals pivot, and long-standing systemic issues addressed with a new, uncompromising frequency. This isn't happening because of a single leader. It is happening because the individuals have independently reached the same conclusion. That is the true power of this movement. The Matrix cannot stop a revolution that is happening inside the hearts of the chosen ones. The portal is open. The codes are active. Your new rhythm has begun.
spiritual growth
Is never separate from the raw fabric of everyday life. When you evolve internally, it fundamentally re-engineers how you speak, how you listen, and how you command your space. Subtle shifts in your tone, your patience, and your boundaries accumulate into seismic waves of change. A single calm response can deactivate a generational conflict. A firm, ironclad boundary can ignite respect where there was once only neglect. These are not small things. They are the structural blueprints of a new emotional climate. Cosmic cycles like this one do not force change. They act as high-intensity searchlights, illuminating where change is already overdue. Those who resist this expansion will feel a profound sense of unrest, while those who embrace the surge will move with a cold, calculated confidence. The collective is not a distant entity. It is a tapestry woven from your individual choices.
Every time you choose radical honesty,
Accountability, or self-respect, you send a shockwave through the collective field, rippling through families, boardrooms, and communities. You will find yourself losing all tolerance for static, confusion, and unnecessary drama. This is not withdrawal. It is divine discernment. As more souls develop this razor-sharp awareness, shared spaces begin to transform. Conversations become direct. Expectations become crystalline. The energy once wasted on maintaining a false, comfortable balance is now being reclaimed for authentic progress. This phase is about ownership, not blame. As accountability replaces avoidance, the foundation of trust is rebuilt from the ground up. This is the silent engine of the collective awakening. The moon acts as a celestial mirror, reflecting the hidden currents of society. When you respond with integrity instead of fear, you stabilize the entire human field.
this is not about reaching perfection.
It is about the sovereign alignment between your values and your actions. When enough individuals live this way, the old systems do not just change, they dissolve naturally. The subtle shifts you notice in your daily routine are the early warning signs of a massive global flow. Choosing truth over comfort and speaking with clarity where you once hesitated adds diamond-strength threads to the human tapestry. Never underestimate the ripple effect of these small acts. They are the infrastructure of a higher frequency. After the wolf moon, these effects will accelerate with terrifying precision. Instinct, awareness, and responsiveness are rising in tandem. You are witnessing a shift from inertia to intention. In public spaces and private gatherings, the air feels different because more people are refusing to shrink. This is the end of the era of pretense. The January 30th portal marks the moment where this movement becomes undeniable. You will see groups reorganize and long-standing systemic issues resolve with minimal effort. Not because of a single leader, but because enough individuals have independently reached the same frequency of truth. Chosen one, your role is now clear. You are a participant in the most significant recalibration in human history. Your choices matter more than you can possibly perceive. The way you handle stress, the way you confront conflict, and the way you hold your light contributes to the shared field we all inhabit. This is the real-world application of the awakening, a steady, irreversible change driven by awareness. Each soul, adjusting its inner compass, adds a new layer of stability to the whole. This is how lasting change takes root, not through noise, but through the unshakable power of a soul in alignment. The timeline is set. The frequency is yours to command. Observation, patience, and discernment are no longer merely virtues. They are your primary survival tools. In this window, the moon's influence has reached its peak, offering you the surgical ability to act with absolute insight rather than primitive reaction. Those who master this frequency will find themselves navigating complex human interactions with an unshakable, lethal confidence. You will experience a dramatic drop in stress, not because the world has become quieter, but because your sense of personal responsibility has become deeper. You must understand, your conscious participation in this field is not abstract. It is tangible. In the new reality, the minor decisions are the ones that carry the most momentum. Every intentional response you give creates a pocket of stability in an otherwise chaotic matrix. When enough of us, the chosen ones, adjust our internal frequency, the collective environment begins to reorganize itself by default. This is the end of force. This is the beginning of alignment. Expectations are shifting, priorities are being reordered. Shared spaces are beginning to feel lighter and more coherent, not because of a new law or a political leader, but because you are choosing to act in alignment with the truth. Even the briefest interaction, a fair conversation, a calm stance amidst a heated disagreement, or a moment of calculated patience, ripples outward with a force you can scarcely imagine. The wolf moon is your mirror. It reflects the energy you have already set in motion. You will begin to see a natural progression in your life. Discussions that once dragged on will resolve. Conflicts will lose their oxygen. Scattered energy that once drained your vessel is now becoming usable power, allowing you to function with a new, intentional balance. This shift demands surgical discernment in every sector of your life. You are now evaluating your choices with cold clarity, recognizing exactly where your energy is best invested and ruthlessly stepping back from situations that drain your growth. Action guided by awareness is infinitely more powerful than the most forceful effort. The global energy field has no choice but to respond when enough individuals hold this awareness with consistency. You may notice a radical intolerance for compromises that undermine your integrity. Decisions that once felt tricky or gray are now crystalline. The situation hasn't changed, you have. The collective field is reacting to how you engage with life. Conversations are smoothing out, understanding is deepening, and a shared sense of balance is emerging from the static. As you do the internal work, your community, your group dynamics, and your environment reflect that work back to you. The wolf moon cycle is magnifying your instincts, guiding your behavior in a way that is both primal and constructive. You are no longer a victim of the cycles. You are the one who rides them. You are the anchor. You are the frequency. The integration is complete. The new earth is built by your every breath. Chosen ones, as we stand at the precipice of this collective awakening, realizing that our internal shifts are creating a massive, irreversible wave. One pivotal question remains. What will you do with this awareness? This is not a distant astrological event or a spiritual phenomenon happening out there. This is a profound summons, a mandate for you to consciously participate in the current of evolution. You are not just a passenger, you are an active architect of the future, for yourself and for the entire human collective. Every day, you are confronted with 1,000 choices, from the microscopic to the monumental. In this transition, every conscious decision you make is a high-frequency seed planted into the collective soil.
Will you choose radical honesty when it is uncomfortable?
Will you choose strategic patience over impulsive reaction? Will you hold your ironclad boundaries even if it disrupts the comfort of others? You are the architect of your reality and an essential component of the collective field. Never underestimate the kinetic impact of a small, intentional act. A single word of truth, a calculated act of selfless service, or maintaining absolute stillness amidst chaos. These are the frequencies that stabilize the world. Collective awakening demands the collapse of the mask. This requires a lethal kind of courage, the courage to admit hidden truths, to face the reality of your relationships, and to pivot when the old path has expired. The wolf moon commands you to trust your primal instinct. Living in your raw truth is the highest form of power.
When you stop performing for the matrix
And refuse to shrink your light for the sake of others, you don't just liberate yourself, you become a lighthouse for everyone else. This is the moment to redefine success, not by what you possess, but by the depth of your authenticity. In the heat of recalibration, friction is inevitable. Some will ascend rapidly, others will be paralyzed by resistance. Your mission is not to judge or alienate, but to build bridges of understanding and radical compassion. Transformation doesn't always need a loud revolution. It can be a silent, honest conversation or an act of listening without judgment. When you hold your inner peace, you become the 0 point for those around you. Your frequency can deactivate fear and open the door for acceptance. Remember, collective evolution is a marathon of patience. Every soul is navigating this corridor at its own rhythm. To harness the gifts of this portal, you must maintain vigilance in every waking second.
The witness state.
Observe the world and your internal landscape without labels. See the energy for what it is, neither good nor bad, only data. The anchor breath. When the surge becomes overwhelming, use your breath to ground your vessel into the present moment. This is your kill switch for anxiety. The frequency of gratitude. Gratitude is not a sentiment, it is a vibrational multiplier. It elevates your frequency and attracts the high-level experiences you have been manifesting. The moon of January 30th is more than an astronomical event. It is a signal of your structural rebirth. You are a vital cell in the body of humanity, and your expansion is a gift to the entire cosmos. Trust your trajectory. Walk the path revealed by your intuition with absolute certainty. Do not fear the changes, no matter how disruptive they may seem. These are the moments that forge the most powerful, authentic version of you. You are not alone in this corridor.
The universal forces
Are at your back. Live fully, love with intensity, shine with the brilliance of your true essence. This is your moment to rise. The portal is closing. The new earth begins with you.